Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to watch Life's Magical Journey. I'm Life, and this is the safest space for us to learn, grow, and share our experiences when it comes to our spiritual journey. So as you're watching the video, go ahead and consider subscribing to the channel. In today's video, we are talking about what it means to be in the present moment. I've seen people ask this over and over. What does being in the present moment feel like? What is it? What does that even mean? What is the present moment? And so I've even mentioned it in a couple of my most recent videos. If you haven't seen that live stream I did on what is meditation and if you need it in a spiritual journey, and also the one I did before that, what does meditation do for you? It's a good explanation about meditation and why it's so healthy for your mind. I mentioned in my meditation videos that there is no past and there is no future. There's only this present moment. And I just want to go deeper into that topic with you today so you really get a feel for it and understand what it means to be in the present moment. It's going beyond this physical world. It's going beyond yourself. It's going beyond your environment. It's going beyond time. Most of us want to become a better version of ourselves. We want to manifest material things. We even want to help raise the vibration here on the planet Earth. Now ask yourself this, can you do that being who you are right here today? Probably not. Expansion is needed. Growth is needed. It doesn't matter where you're at. We need to expand. We always need to be looking to grow. That's what we're here to do. So you have to transcend your current reality of who you think you are. Your current situation, you have to go beyond it. And that is what being in the present moment is going to help you to do. So let's take some advice from an expert. I'm going to talk about this book that I'm reading. It's called Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Dr. Joe is a well-known researcher, basically a scientist. He is very well-versed in how the mind functions and what it takes to transcend your current subconscious mind, what it takes to change and even reprogram your current subconscious mind. All right, so he does talk a lot about meditation in this book. He shows you a lot of different meditations. I got this book from Amazon a while ago. It's actually priced a little bit lower when I looked at it. It's priced a little bit lower now, but I am going to link this, guys. I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you do buy any books through my links, you are helping the channel out, okay? I do get a little bit of commission from that. This is a super powerful book. I've been reading it for some time. When I first started this journey, I aligned with a friend, like we were exchanging books and reading a book a week. But I suggest that if you really want to ingest something, if you really want to digest the information, I suggest that you read and reread your books. If it resonates with you, read it again a time or two, because I'm telling you, it is a powerful way to really make sure that you understand and you comprehend the information that's being told to you in the book. So basically, Dr. Joe's explaining how the brain functions and that the mind is the brain in action. The mind and your thoughts is the brain in action. That's the brain vibing, okay? Now, I do want to read some excerpts out of this book so that you guys can get an understand for what I mean when I say that there is no past and there is no future, and how meditation and embracing that present moment can actually help to reprogram your mind towards greatness. So let's get into it. For the most part, your brain is a product of the past. It has been shaped and molded to become a living record of everything you've ever learned and experienced up to this point in your life. Experiences not only enhance the brain's circuitry, but they also create emotions. Think of emotions as chemical residue from the past experiences or chemical feedback. The stronger the emotional quotient from an event in your life, the more the experience leaves a lasting impression in your brain. That's how long-term memories are formed. If learning means making new connections in the brain, memories are when you maintain those connections. The more you repeat a thought, choice, behavior, experience, or emotion, The more those neurons fire and wire together, and the more they will sustain a long-term relationship. So it's safe to say that the only place the past actually exists is in your brain. And that energy, that past energy, gets stored in your body. Let's read further about how your past becomes your future. Read this one with me. Let's take a closer look at what happens biochemically inside your body when you think a thought or feel an emotion. When you think a thought or have a memory, a biochemical reaction begins in your brain, causing the brain to release certain chemical signals. That's how immaterial thoughts literally become matter. They become chemical messengers. These chemical signals make your body feel exactly the way you were just thinking. Once you notice you're feeling a particular way, then you generate more thoughts equal to how you're feeling, and then you release more chemicals from your brain to make you feel the way you were just thinking. Now, we've talked about that before, right? The things that you think begin to make you feel a certain way. Let's say you start to think a fearful thought. That fearful thought is going to make you actually feel a feeling of fear. You know how fear feels. If you're about to get into a car accident, you know that feeling, that twinge that you get, that's a feeling of fear. And then that feeling, if you're having that thought, then that feeling actually makes you think another fearful thought. And then that thought makes you feel a certain way. And it's just a thought and feeling loop that you end up going through once you end up letting this go on for so long. Let's read on. If thoughts are the vocabulary of the brain and feelings are the vocabulary of the body, and the cycle of how you think and feel becomes your state of being, then your entire state of being is in the past. When you fire and wire the same circuits in your brain over and over again because you keep thinking the same thoughts, you're hardwiring your brain into the same patterns. As a result, your brain becomes an artifact of your past thinking, and in time it becomes easier to automatically think the same ways. At the same time, as you repeatedly feel the same emotions over and over again, since as I just said, emotions are the vocabulary of the body and the chemical residue of past experiences, you're conditioning your body into the past. So the minute you wake up and you start to immediately think about your problems, you immediately think about what happened yesterday that didn't go quite right. You think about your boss and how he tripping. You think about the kids and everything they're not doing. And you start to just immediately feel those feelings of angst. That's what we're talking about here. So when you wake up and you start to have those same feelings of the past, that means that you're probably going to brush your teeth the same way. You're going to put your pants on the same leg first. You're going to drive to work on the same path as you do every day, which means that you are setting yourself up to have the same exact day you did yesterday. You're always going to have the same exact day over and over. So let's see what Dr. Joe says happens if we continue to do this. If you keep doing these same routines over and over again, they will become a habit. A habit is a redundant set of automatic, unconscious thoughts, behavior, and emotions that you acquire through frequent repetition. Basically, it means your body is now on autopilot, running a series of programs, and over time, your body becomes the mind. You've done this routine so many times that your body automatically knows how to do certain things better than your brain or conscious mind. You just switch into autopilot and go unconscious, which means you'll wake up the next morning and essentially do the same thing all over again. In a very real sense, your body is dragging you into the same predictable future based on what you've been repeatedly doing in your same familiar past. Right? So you end up on that same familiar boat. You end up in that same familiar past every day, day in and day out. Equally, if you go into thinking about what you got to do today and how you have this appointment and you know it's not going to go right, you have a meeting that's going to drag out and make your life a living hell. Maybe you have, there's so many things it could be, right? So as soon as you start thinking about that future, you predict it. It's a predictable future now. And so it's the same thing as living in the past or predicting the future. Staying in that present moment with meditation is going to allow for the unknown. So let's go on and read further, and let's see what Dr. Joe says about the generous present moment. If I do it properly, overcoming my familiar thoughts and emotions of my known past and future, then energetically, neurologically, biologically, chemically, hormonally, and genetically, that predictable future, as well as the familiar past I used to affirm it, no longer exists. If I'm no longer firing and no longer wiring those same old neural networks by no longer thinking of those same memories of the people or things or certain times and places, and I keep returning to the present moment, I am calling my energy back to me. Take a look at the figure in 2.9, and you can see how the familiar past and the predictable future no longer exist. Now I'm in the sweet spot of the generous present moment, and I have available energy to create. I've built my own energy field surrounding my body every time I've labored, sometimes for hours, to get beyond myself and find that place called the eternal now, and I can truly break through. I've always thought the same thing. That was so worth it. So basically, all I'm saying here is that listen to Dr. Joe. No. But try meditation for yourself. Try to find joy in that present moment. Now, I'm also going to tell you that living in the present is not all about meditation. Okay, it's all about embracing the unknown, which means don't drive to work the same way you do every day. You know, try to purposely and consciously change your routine up a little bit. Don't exercise at the same exact time in the morning every day. Trish Lee just was talking about that, having a morning routine and doing the same exact thing at the same exact time. I know a lot of people in spirituality love to embrace routine and schedule, and there may be some, for you there may be something to that, but I invite you to listen to Dr. Joe a little bit and just embrace the present moment. Do what feels right. Embrace the unknown. I hope that you go ahead and grab this book. I will link it down below, as I mentioned earlier, because it is a very powerful book. It is kind of a heavier read, but like I said, it's not a lot of big words that you can't understand, but it's about neuroscience, right? It teaches a lot of different meditations. I'll be going over this book a little bit more in depth though, and I'll be bringing out some more information about the meditations that he talks about in the books, because they are powerful. And we're talking about meditation. We have been talking about limiting beliefs, letting go of limiting beliefs and letting go of things that no longer serve us. And so now it's time that we invite things in that are going to serve us, like reading, like meditation, like bonding with ourselves. You're working on that relationship between you and you, embracing that present moment and allowing for the unknown. If you did get anything out of this video, I'd like for you to share it around, share it with a friend or in a group where you think that they might benefit from the information. And I invite you to go back and watch some of my other videos. Watch that video on meditation. Watch the videos, the series that I have on letting go of limiting beliefs. This video is going to be episode 2 of the meditation series that we're doing right now. Okay, so we are doing just a whole series on meditation to get us in touch with meditation and what it can do for us. All right, so as usual, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.